the call for parliamentary system of government in Nigeria.
Well, the bill to amend the 1999 Constitution of Nigeria to reintroduce a parliamentary system of government passed first reading in the House of Representatives last year.
Well, the bill was sponsored by 71 members seeking to change the system of government from presidential to parliamentary. And now, which system is better? Which will favor the people? To look at these issues tonight, we're joined by Barrister Oladotun Hassan. He's a legal practitioner. Of course, he's been with us before.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here again, once again.
Thank you so much. And we are joined by Olawole Amoussa. He is candidate House of Assembly for the forthcoming election under the flagship of the YPP. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
And also remember that to ensure your voice is heard, share your thoughts with us on all our social media platforms. That's at Plus TV Africa on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. And you can also watch the conversation live and also comment on YouTube at Plus TV Africa. Now, last year, 71 House of Rep members moved to have the system of governance move from the presidential system to parliamentary system. What school of thought do you support? A move for this or against this?
Well, I believe the 71 members of the Federal House of Representatives that woke up all of a sudden to propose a bill for parliamentary system. To me, the process itself shouldn't have come that way. A system of government is not a bill of an act of the National Assembly, is the Constitution itself. That means for them to go on a bill, somebody must have moved a motion to annul the present Constitution for a new Constitution that would have come in place to interpret the system of government that we are running. So, you know, sponsoring a bill for parliamentary system is not, it's a failed process ab initio. To couple it up, I believe, and I stated it earlier, that we all know that the present 1999 Constitution is a decree of the military
system, yeah.
And it's quite unfortunately that as we profess to be giant of Africa, more or less for me, is quite
well, that's why some individuals will say we have amendments to the law and the Constitution, don't you think?
Well, we ought to be very serious. If we want to run democracy, let us run the way it ought to be. As a lawyer, we know that we know the anomalies of the law. That the fact that this law, that the present Constitution do not receive legitimacy from the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We all are aware. There is a need for us to be very conscious of some issues. The fact that we hurriedly embraced democracy in 1999 without scrutinizing.
But in simple terms, are you for or against this move?
No,
yes.
Well, it is a move in futility. So I can't even vote a yes or no. But for real, there is a need for us to have a well-defined system of government. Parliamentary definitely is a no-go area, but we can have an expanded presidential system of government. We know our system, we know our culture. We cannot transplant a copy and paste parliamentary just like the way it's run in England and want to put it here. No, it can't really function. Even our presidential is not working. The bicameral legislation we are running is not working for us. We need a system that situates with our reasoning and our culture. There is a need for us to have an expanded presidential system of government whereby regionalism will be much more within the state policy affair and every other rules of engagement with them.
Olawole, we need to hear your thoughts on this as well.
Yeah, I would, in aligning with my brother, I'd like to say that as attractive and an option as parliamentary appears to be, the reality here now is that we have a constitution that did not emanate from the people. You understand? We need to go back to that ground norm, which is the constitution, and fashion out for ourselves something that is workable. Because even the parliamentary system, like my brother also said, which you cut and paste. Nigeria has a bad culture of cutting and pasting, and we don't get it right. The cut and paste parliamentary system we got from the UK, and we tried to run with initially. We didn't even fully get the hang of it before we made the switch You understand, to the presidential system. So I think, like he said, we need to go back to the constitution. The parliamentary system, yes, it will save waste, and it has its own few advantages. You understand? But like we said earlier, we need to go back to the constitution and fashion out something that is workable.
But don't you think that having experienced the presidential system of governance, and then we will also look at the parliamentary system of governance, we've seen that it reduces cost of governance and a whole lot more, as well as decentralizing the power that we find out domiciled at the center. So having tasted the two, do you think that we can still now look back and say, well, one should be better off than the other, instead of having to have the extra
in operation, yeah, the parliamentary system, it had a measure of success, you understand, and faced with the realities that Nigeria of 2019 or probably beyond is not as wealthy, is probably not as it was not a mono-economic time, you understand. So it was easier for them at that point in time to fund, you know, the state and all whatnot. But currently, that reality is no longer there. So even the parliamentary system that they ran at that point in time, it will take some serious planning. So it has to come back to the people. It has to come back to a constitution.
To get it right.
Yes, to get it right.